What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Being Beautifully Honest channel and podcast. And if you have not subscribed yet, please do go ahead, hit that subscribe button. And while you're at it, go ahead and hit that like button. I really appreciate it that you are here. And let's get into this conversation. Now, this story comes from Maryland, and more specifically, ABC News 7, WJLA news station in Chevy Chase, Maryland. This story is crazy because, one, it involves a pastor of a church who apparently is well known in the area. Her name is Arlene Hudson, Pastor Arlene Hudson to be more specific. And this is embarrassing because, one, we've seen so many stories about people going off in nail salons. And I'm just going to be honest because that's what I do here. I just give my honest thoughts and opinions on stories that are already out there. I don't do any investigational situations. I don't have time for all of that. I appreciate all of those who do, but I just give my thoughts and commentary on things that are already out there. And when you see these stories that go viral about people going off in the nail salons, which quite frankly are predominantly owned and operated, if not even just operated, because we don't really know who the owners are all of the time for every nail salon. They're predominantly operated by those in the Asian community. There are different Asian communities that operate. They're Koreans, they're Vietnamese, they're, just a number of differences across the United States, which is where I'm located. And I hate it when I see African Americans going off in these nail salons. One, I don't get my nails done, so I don't do that. Every once in a while, I might pop in for a pedicure here and there, but I predominantly just take care of my own stuff. Two, I'm in the beauty industry, and with the ethics that I have, being someone who is a licensed esthetician, I know that there's some things that go on sometimes in some of these nail salons that I just am not okay with. So just for the sake of my own conscience and just being safe, I just don't frequent them myself. But that's neither here nor there. This story is about this pastor of a church going off in a nail salon. And again, it is embarrassing. So I wanted to share the story and just share my thoughts on it. So I'm going to play this video clip and then we'll get into it.
Go back to Vietnam.
Only on 7 News, a local pastor under fire for this racist rant that was caught on camera. It happened inside a nail salon in Chevy Chase, Maryland. But tonight, the pastor says there is more to this story. 7 News on your side's Kevin Lewis joining us live in Chevy Chase. He has the salon owner and the pastor's claims. Kevin?
Well, John, this nail salon is on Friendship Boulevard, just up the road from Bloomingdale's. Pastor Arlene Hudson acknowledges that she is the woman seen shouting and swearing in the salon surveillance video. But Pastor Hudson argued that this all stems from long-standing tension between the Asian and African American communities.
Yes, I'm angry because I had an appointment, and how dare they do that to me? And you're should have minded your business.
Relaxation was hard to find inside the Gloss Time Nail Salon in Chevy Chase, Maryland, on the afternoon of Sunday, September 18th.
There's no human being should be treated that way.
Owner John Tran explained client Arlene Hudson arrived for a 3 p.m. manicure with her adult daughter. The salon didn't have Hudson in the computer system and didn't have the staff to fit her and her daughter in, prompting this exchange caught on the salon's surveillance camera.
I see you ain't got all that mouth now, you fat. You a fat, and the rest of you go back to Vietnam. You assholes.
I feel like she have power. Just because she has power or money doesn't mean that you talk to people that way.
I can read and write French and Spanish, and then I can understand Asian communication.
Hudson told 7 News she knows multiple languages and overheard the 2 female employees use the N-word in Vietnamese.
People who are listening to this, if I don't have their dialect and different things like that, I just know it when I hear it.
Tran is adamant that his workers never use the N-word.
The most I can do is just bar her off the property.
He told 7 News that he just wants peace.
We feel so downgraded when she say those things, and it hurts.
Now, Pastor Hudson sent me a screenshot of an automated text message that confirmed her manicure for 3 p.m. on Sunday, September 18th. However, the salon owner says he checked and has no record of that text message ever going out. He believes the pastor actually edited or photoshopped the text message that she sent me. We're live in Chevy Chase, Maryland tonight. I'm Kevin Lewis, 7 News.
That's a head scratcher there. Kevin, thanks.
All right, so you heard it, you saw it. Yeah, it can be comical, a bit funny just to see it, but one, she is a pastor. And there's so many stories that have been out recently with the bling bling bishop, that's what some people call him, from New York, who's just been constantly on social media, and how he's been behaving, which the church, for the most part, as a whole, because of so many different stories that have happened with leaders in churches, there's so many that has given it a bad look and a bad name that a lot of people just don't want to have anything to do with the church anymore. So she's not helping by going into this nail salon, getting pissed off and acting all unholy because they did not have her on the schedule for an appointment that she claims that she booked. No, when you're looking forward to getting something done, I get it. It can be frustrating and aggravating when you're planning, especially to have like a little girl's day or whatever. I guess she was there with her daughter and she was disappointed. Cool. But to act like that, first of all, I hate when I see anyone doing that. But to see the pastor of a church acting this way, for her to say what she said, even another customer was in there just trying to calm her down. So just a regular patron trying to calm the pastor down, and she yells back at the woman, and yes, I am angry because I have an appointment, and how dare they do that to me, and you're an effing ass, should have minded your business. Like, what type of pastor says that to anybody? A pastor. She yelled that to the other customer who was just trying to intervene and just trying to calm the situation down and say, lady, I get it. You're disappointed. You're upset, whatever. I get that. But like, do you really have to act this way? I don't even think that customer knew that she was a pastor. But everything is on video. And they found out who she was, and she is Pastor Arlene Hudson. So calling the woman a F and B, calling her fat, telling the people in the salon, go back to Vietnam, you MFers, you a-holes. Like, can you imagine? Like, what if this pastor was up in the pulpit of her church and was speaking the exact same way to the people sitting in the congregation of the church, and calling the people in the congregation of the church, you fat F and B's, you MFers, go back to Vietnam, you a-holes, or whatever, or wherever the people are from that are sitting in her congregation. I felt like she thought she could get away with it because she probably thought that nobody in there knew who she was, and it was all on camera, and she got exposed and embarrassed. So for her to say, when she was approached by the news station about this, for her to say, I understand Asian languages, but I can't speak them, and I heard them call me the N-word. One, I don't believe that. I just don't believe that. I really don't. I'm not saying that when you go to the nail salons and they're speaking in their native language, that they're not talking about you. I actually do believe sometimes they are talking about people's feet and and all kinds of stuff like that. I can only imagine, especially when they're doing that all the time. It's what they do. But hey, if you're going to go to these places and freak with them and give them your money, patronize their businesses, then that's kind of one of the things that you just kind of have to deal with. The fact that they're speaking in their own native language to each other. But I don't believe that she understood what they were saying and she heard one of them call her the N-word. I don't know. Like, do they even... I know that every language has words that are inappropriate, what you would call vulgar, cuss words, or degrading words or whatever. I get that. But do they have a word in their... she said they're Vietnamese. I guess they are. I don't know. But do they have the N-word in Vietnamese? I don't know. I'm just asking. But do you really believe that this woman, had she not been caught on camera and embarrassed this way, would have tried to say, well, yeah, I said what I said because I heard one of them call me an N-word? No, you're lying. You got pissed off because you thought you had an appointment. I get it. Myself, being someone that has a beauty business, and we do scheduling with online scheduling systems, stuff happens sometimes. Glitches happen. Sometimes appointments get double booked. It doesn't happen often, but it does. And it sucks. There have been times where people have come in, they thought they had an appointment scheduled. They did not. We did our best to accommodate them to reschedule. But girl, if somebody like that came into my business and was acting that way because they thought they had an appointment and then they didn't and they acted that way, we would never want to see them again. And that's what the guy trans said. He said, the most we could do is just ban her from the property from, ever coming here again. But she was extremely disrespectful to call herself a pastor and to be the leader of a church, a fellowship of people. You're supposed to be, I thought, leading people to Christ, not calling them MFers and telling them to go back to Vietnam. And then even the lady that was just trying to calm her down and intervene, calling her a fat F and a F and B. Like, it was crazy. I was so shocked by this. I just had to speak about it. But it is extremely embarrassing when the lion's share of these viral videos where someone is going off in a nail salon predominantly is an African American woman going off on or in the nail salon on these Asians. And it is embarrassing. They already have the thing about Asian hate and all of that other stuff. And for the most part, I don't agree with that, because I will say, like I said, the majority, even though nail salons have come way, way far out further into the advancements and technology and even the comforts and the luxury than what it used to be, because many years ago, these nail salons used to just be in the hood. Let's just be honest. They did not have these nail salons like these in every single shopping center like they do now, for the most part, depending on where you live, what state and city or whatever you're in. But when I talk to people across the country, most of them agree, because I know it's like that where I am. Pretty much every shopping center has a nail salon in it. And these nail salons, even though I don't get my nails done, they are nice. They are, for the most part, they are pretty comfy, luxurious for what they are. And it's a far cry from what they used to be. And so they are serving a whole lot more people now in terms of ethnicities than what they really used to do, which it was mainly the black girls that were getting the nails done back in the day. And when I say the nails done, I'm not talking about just your regular everyday manicure and pedicure. I'm talking about nails, acrylics, and all of these other different things that they've come on the scene with over the years to make things greater and better than what they used to be. That's how they really, really, really used to make their money. So I didn't really agree with the fact that they were trying to say that it was mainly African Americans that were targeting Asians. I just didn't really believe that. But when you see scenes like this that happen, then it makes it hard to make that, argument of it's mainly been African Americans supporting the Asian community, because, I mean, when you think about it, the Asian food places, Chinese restaurants, the nail salons, even, you know, not because they're not just Chinese restaurants, but you know what I mean. That's what a lot of people call them, even if they're not Chinese owned and operated. A lot of them will say Chinese food. So anyway, I'm just saying, I digress. A lot of these places would be in the hoods or close to them and serve predominantly African Americans. So that's how a lot of them made a lot of their money. Definitely the beauty supply stores. I don't see any other ethnicities of people going to the beauty supply stores where they're selling the hair weave, hair extensions, all of the other things that they sell in there than African Americans, to be honest with you. So when you see scenes like this happening that go viral, it gives people that argument of, yeah, you know, it's those black people that are always targeting Asians, and that's just not true. You just have a few knuckleheads out here that don't know how to conduct themselves, and then they act like this, and then it's caught on camera and it goes viral, and you know, you get upset because your nail wasn't done right, or your eyelash, which you shouldn't be getting your lashes done in nail salons anyway, but that's another story. I won't even go off on that tangent, but I'm just saying, you should be going to nail salons to get your nails done, and that's it. They are nail salons. They shouldn't be touching anybody's faces, waxing people, doing lashes, all of that stuff. It just should not be. A nail salon should be what it is, a nail salon. But I digress. When people go in these places and they just don't know how to conduct themselves and act appropriately, it makes these people look like the victim over and over and over, versus them being supported, which they pretty much are being supported more so by other communities than their own, because it is predominantly African Americans that get their nails done in these nail salons. It is predominantly, I would say almost 99.95% African Americans that go to their beauty supply stores. They have the share, you know, the huge share of that market. There are definitely more African American women now that are selling hair on independently and on their own, but it comes from there. It comes, for the most part, it comes from China. So I'm just going to say, this pastor was 100% wrong. She was completely out there and disrespectful in how she spoke to them, her actions. I don't care if she had an appointment and they accidentally deleted it on purpose, said she had an appointment and they actually didn't put her on the schedule, but she showed that she had an appointment. Stuff happens. There was no reason for a minister of the word of God who is pastoring over the people in a church to act that way over a freaking appointment that she was supposed to have that she could not get done. Go someplace else. There's so many other nail salons. Like, are you serious? She's acting like that was the only place that she could get her nails done. I just felt like that was so stupid for her to get caught out there like that. And you just have to be so careful, especially when you're in a leadership position like that. But again, it's people like that that give the churches a bad name. And she acted extremely unholy in this nail salon. So guys, let me know your thoughts on the story. I really appreciate you liking this commentary and subscribing to the channel and podcast. And until the next time, this is Beth, and I'm just being beautifully honest. Thank you so much for liking, commenting, and subscribing. And until the next time, I'm just being beautifully honest.